Hi everyone, how are you doing? Happy Saturday. Hope you are doing amazing, having a wonderful time. Hope it is bright and sunshiny wherever you are. It is here in New York, so I am very happy about that. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. As you know, we're a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, the Invictus community. All of us here at Sussex Squad, we are all one part of the huge family. And we are wonderful and dysfunctional and awesome and amazing and all of those things wrapped all into one, as all families are. So welcome. And as I pull this music down, I hope I hope you are having a great weekend. Saturday. I hope you are having a relaxing time or fun time or party time or whatever it is you're doing this weekend. Hope it is fun. Anyway, it's a little bit quiet on the Sussex front, I think. Just a wee bit. And we know whenever they're quiet, they're off doing something wonderful. And so we are just excited to see that. I know if you're like me, I'm like, okay, archetypes, it's summer. As it was, as I mentioned last time, Spotify tweeted about new podcasts coming up, and so they didn't put mega archetypes there, and everyone, the most of their response have been like, we want archetypes, including me, my impatient self. And so they basically was like, good things come to those who wait, in response to it. So it's like, okay, we're waiting, but we're not happy to be waiting because we're just impatient people. But it should be coming up soon. They said, Meghan said summer, so it's summer. It just started summer, so that shall be coming. We are of the let patience be somebody else's virtue kind of people. Well, at least me anyway. Very impatient person. But apart from our wonderful faves, this is one of my favorite things. We know the struggles that Harry and Meghan have, especially with family and the messiness with all the family. And you're like, can we just get rid of these people? Like literally, from their lives. It's just like they're just toxic when it comes to family. With Harry and Meghan, they just happen to have the two worst paternal side of their family ever known to man. I don't know how two people come up with the two worst fathers and two worst family from their father's side. It's just unreal. But I am just so happy that when family fail you, you have friends who will just stand by you and be there and support you. And as Nacho had said one time, he would defend Harry with his life. It seems Delfina, his wife Delfina, and their family, who basically they just embrace the Sussexes, and they have all been one big happy family in Santa Barbara, especially the last 2 months playing polo with Los Padres. So Nacho and his wife this weekend was their last weekend. I think they left yesterday, or maybe leaving today. They might be. I think it was either yesterday or today. They're leaving to go to Aspen because Nacho is going to be playing out there. He has a team. It's in Colorado. I'm assuming it's Aspen, but it might be another town. But he usually plays in Aspen, so that's why. Anyway, so they are road tripping off to Colorado to play polo. So they're gone for the summer. As we know, the Santa Barbara league that they were playing in is over. So they have moved on. They're moving on. And so it is, I'm like, can you all just move to Santa Barbara and stay with Harry and Meghan, and y'all could just stay there and be one happy big family? But they're like a nomad family. I mean, they just travel all over the world playing polo and, posted on Instagram, and so they're just this one happy nomad, filthy rich family that you just like, oh, can I just have your freedom and your life, please? But they're just wonderful family for the Sussexes. They just embrace each other and love each other. And so yesterday, Delphina posted this with She posted this on her Instagram account, and it was just like so beautiful. And I'm just realizing that my Sussex logo may have just gotten in the way there of some of it. So let's see if we can pull this down. Man, let's see. Does not do it now. Um, well, the Sussex logo is kind of like blocking some of it there. I should have pulled it down a little bit further, but it is what it is. What she is saying, so Delfina wrote this on her Instagram account, M as in Meghan, looking forward to many more of these times with you and Harry. Getting to spend time together over these 2 months. I think it says has been so special. I wish everyone knew you the way you are, my fellow P wife, and which is a Polo wife. Genius of you to come up with this. Can't wait to see you again soon and to share the thrills, hikes, and just more chill time. You also have my respect. Keep walking steady and strong. Listen to your heart that will guide you well. Be, because you have a big one and a beautiful one. I love you, my darling. Can't be possible that this is our only P wife picture. It can't be possible that this is the only P wife picture we have together. Vamos, los Padres team. And then Nacho chimed in at the bottom of her tweet. He says, I second that. We love you, M. And I just love that so much. I just love how Meghan called them the P wife, the Polo wife. And they really are out there supporting their mates, because their other two teammates are 16. Well, now they're 17-year-olds. So they obviously don't have wives unless, children are marrying over there in Santa Barbara. But yeah, so they're, and again, Delfina is the ultimate Polo wife. She's always there. I mean, their family they just travel together. They all travel together. So it's like a Polo family. But I love that Meghan termed them the P wife, termed them P wives. So it just, and again, I just, it's something so simple, but, coming from the kind of relationship that Harry and Meghan has had with or not relationship with their own families, to see Delfina and Nacho just sort of come through for them and be there for them and just love them and embrace them. It's just so wonderful. And to know that they spend time, as Delfina said, spend time just hiking and she said to share thrills, which I'm sure the thrills of the Polo, they got 2 cups, they won 2 cups, and then the hikes and just more chill time. And we've didn't realize I've seen like photos, they've posted photos about their hikes, but didn't realize like Harry and Meghan they weren't in their photos. But it's great to know that they shared all those special times together. And as she said, their chill time. So it just, I mean, again, especially the British press, they're all going on and on and on and forever going on about William and Harry and it's like Harry's like, I got my brother. I already got a brother. I got a sister. Don't need it, And of course, it's your blood. When it comes to your blood, no matter what, there's always still that connection. But when there is no relationship there, it's always great to know that you have someone who is closer than that brother honestly ever was, because the kind of relationship Harry has with Nacho is one of just closeness, just one of love and friendship, and just being there for each other and watching out for each other's back and supporting each other. And as Nacho again says, he's like, I would lay down my life to defend Harry, because they've been that close. And they're also that loving. And that's the one thing with the Figueroa's family. I mean, that's why I think it's just also to a cultural thing. They're just very tactile people. They're just very loving, just the hugs, the kisses, the everything. And that's exactly who Meghan and Harry are. So I can understand so well how they gravitated towards Delphina and Nacho, because that's who they are. And then you look at the royal family, they're complete opposite. They are these, strict, straight laced, very distant, cold kind of people. And so I just love this relationship. I love it for them. I love the fact that they have people that they can call family and really be that family. And then, we saw the same thing with Nacho, and I love this picture. um, um, Nacho and Harry, we saw this earlier after one of their wins of Nacho and Harry, and Nacho wrote, it says, "What a joy to see you smile and be so happy. Love being your teammate." And the thing I love about Nacho, and it's not just with Harry, if you've seen pictures of him or captions of under any of his photos, I happen to follow him on Instagram. He's the same way that with all of his friends. There's one with, I think it's Chris Martin, the guy from Coldplay, I think that's who it is. And one of its, under one of his posts, it's like, "I'm so happy to be alive at the same time you are." And he called him his brother from another mother. And Nacho is like that with his friends. He makes sure that his friends know that they're loved, and they know that they are, that he's there for them. And that's the kind of person he is. And I feel like that's how, he makes Harry feel. And that's why they're so close. It's like, you're loved. You're my brother. You know that you are loved. And so I just love it. I love their relationship. And, also Nacho with their kids, and they're all there. It's like one big happy family, and Harry and Meghan's kids. And I'm like, oh, so sad that, and of course they're going to be, Lord willing, he'll bring them back together. Maybe after Aspen, I don't know how long they're going to be in Colorado, but I hope, before they go back to Argentina, they go back to San Francisco. I'm sorry, to Santa Barbara, and spend more time. Or Harry and Meghan go to Argentina and hang out with them there. You know what I mean? But it's just also too, it's just kind of sad. I'm like, I got so used to Los Padres Polo, of course. I still know nothing about Polo. One of our lovely Lady Kachiri, one of our lovely squaddies, posted a YouTube about how, about the game, about, how it scored, and just so that we understand the game a little bit. And I was very grateful, because I was like, I don't know any of those things. And it was funny because somebody else had posted, like, okay, be honest, are you actually a Polo fan, or you're just a Harry playing Polo fan? And I'm like, well, I am a Harry and Nacho playing Polo fan. And so, yeah, I'm like, as long as Harry and Nacho are playing, I'm a Polo fan. I don't know anything about Polo, don't know anything about, the game per se, but I just love the idea that they're playing together. And so that's me in a nutshell. But I could go on and on and on with this forever. I just absolutely love them as a family together. I mean, lose the Windsors, lose the Markles, just have the Figueres and the Sussex family together. I just think it's awesome. And this is poor Delfina was bemoaning the fact that it's like, I can't believe this is our only picture together, because again, this is the picture that she had, and she's like, oddly enough, it was a paparazzi picture. Because these are all those long lens shots that, those paparazzi shots. And she's like, I can't believe. But I was like, no, Delfina, you have more. See, look at you and Meghan hugging over there on the right. That's a beautiful picture. There was also another one, and I couldn't find where they were laughing with each other. And so, yeah, that's them with their arms around each other, the P wives. And then, of course, the ones on the left were in the UK. At one of the polo matches in the UK that I think it was also for Cinti Bali. there. So, and that's Delfina hugging Harry and Meghan, and there they are. So yeah, so definitely the P wives. And Lord willing, we should. I don't know if they're playing in the fall. I mean, it's not like San Barbara is gonna be cold or anything. Maybe a little cool in the fall, but don't know if they have a league there in the fall. And so yeah. And another thing with Santa Barbara Polo Club, I still don't even know the score for the last game that those Padres played. I mean, I was like, what was the score for that game? No idea. But anyways, I love them. I can't believe they're leaving. I'm sure Harry and Meghan are so sad for them not to be there. They're moving on. So they're probably Jonesy thinking, maybe we should be traveling around the world too. But they have 2 babies, so they gotta stay put. Have some little stability in the babies, for the babies. So, but I just love them. I love them. I love them. Anyways, moving on. It's like, can we just stay here forever and just talk about Nacho and Nacho, Delphine, Harry, and Meghan? But yeah, and one of the things, going back to this picture, one of the things I love in what Delphina said, just going on a little bit, she says, "You also have my respect. Keep walking steady and strong. Listen to your heart. That will guide you. That will guide you well, because you have a big one and a beautiful one. I love you, my darling." Oh, it's just so Spanish. I love you, my darling. But I love that so much. It's just, sisters, girls, women encourage and building each other up. And she also says, even further up, it's like, I wish everyone knew you the way you are. And that's the thing. It's like, so many people are talking about Meghan, and a lot of them negatively, especially. It's like they're talking about somebody they don't know. All the people who know Meghan say the same things about her. The people who've worked with her, been with her, been co-stars, whatever with her, say the same thing. And I love she talks about Meghan's heart, that she has a beautiful heart, and so yeah. And I just love the respect that they have for each other. So kudos, women. That's awesome. Women building each other up. So yeah. So anyway, I think this is what is the military week or armed forces week in the UK. I saw like a lot of, and I didn't get a chance to really go in deep to see what it is, but it looks like armed forces weekend in the UK. So I was like, well, let's just bring in some picture of our favorite armed forces gentleman, Prince Harry, in his army days. And it's just so amazing. He's an Apache helicopter pilot. And it's just such a cool thing. It's like, yep, I'm an Apache helicopter pilot. And I know he did a lot of some training in the US as well. Actually, they had said he was really, really good. When he trained here in the US. And of course, that's the picture, the small picture at the bottom is actually, that was in the US, I think. If I'm not mistaken, was at Arlington Cemetery. If I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if that's not correct. But I think that was in the US, at Arlington when he was visiting. And I want to say 2013 or 2015, one of those where he was here. So yeah. So they're, I guess, doing a bunch of stuff for the military, or at least the military doing a bunch of stuff in the UK. So I thought, let's look at our fave soldier, Prince Harry. Served 2 tours of duties in Afghanistan, been in the military 10 years. And you wouldn't know it from the way the UK treats him and how, the ingratitude, but, he did. And so, and not only that, especially that, they always say one served, always serving. And again, we've seen with Invictus Games that exact thing. Prince Harry continuing to serve the military and military personnel through Invictus and so many other things. But one of the most prominent, obviously, is with the Invictus Games. And this was just, just a couple of pictures from this past Invictus Games at The Hague, Netherlands. And it, as we've talked about and seen. It was just the most amazing time there, to see Harry with all of his mates from the military in so many different capacities, just being there 110%, as he said, being there to make sure that his mates in from the military have the most amazing time. And and again, not just them, us from the outside who have never been to the military, all just had such an impactful time, just seeing and the veterans and Prince Harry with them, and just seeing their courage and their passion, and just their will to push themselves beyond what you'd normally think. Well, this person has this so-called like this disability, or their ability to do something is impacted in some way, and yet to see them push past all of those things and to achieve incredible things, it's been amazing. And so I just love to see that with Prince Harry, he didn't just go serve there, but he's used his experience, his passion, his heart, his influence, his platform in every way to give so much back to the military. And also, even though he's not there again, he's in the US, and ooh, my phone. He is in the US, and has a job with Better Up, and now he's hooked up Better Up to be to be there and be a coach for members of the Invictus Games, and he so many different things that he is a part of, that he is incorporated there to better and to help the veterans that are a part of Invictus. It's been amazing. And now again, as as we've been talking about, as we have been talking about, just adding more teams to Invictus Games, like Colombia and Nigeria and all the others. It is just, more and more people are just gonna come in and really get benefit from what Invictus is doing. And all of that, again, came from the fact that Prince Harry just went beyond himself and went beyond, just a service in the military, to now, share everything that he's learned and being able to give back to his mates from the military. So I just, again, that one served, always serving is definitely in action in this. So kudos to Prince Harry and to all the British soldiers there. I just, as they celebrate this weekend, or I don't know if it's a celebrate or how they term it there, but thank you for your service, because you've all been a part of trying to make this world a better place in some way, or trying to preserve democracy in some way, or, no matter what side of the coin you try to do, on a whole, most people who go into the military go in with good intentions. They're sent there for a cause that they believe in, that they think is a good thing, no matter how it turned out. They go in with a heart of, we want to help and we want to serve. So thank you all for your service. So anyways, moving on. Oh Lord, I'm telling you. So Prince Charles is out in Rwanda. They are doing, I think they just wrapped it up, actually. The Commonwealth, they do, like, I think biannual Commonwealth, I guess, meeting or conference or whatever that you term it. But they've been in Rwanda, which is incredible, and it's kind of like weird, sort of like weird timing with the UK, basically deporting black and brown people, or wanting to, at least. A judge, there's been a delay because the judge strike it down, I guess, where they haven't been able to deport black and brown people to Rwanda. They had gotten so far to where they had had people on the airplane, and then had to take the people off the airplane from going to Rwanda. But as you know, the UK government, Priti Patel and her band of henchmen and women, have struck up this deal with the government of Rwanda, where they ship off men and women and children seeking refugees in the seeking refugees, men and women refugees seeking shelter in the UK. They have been they have a plan to ship them off to Rwanda, but the white people coming into the UK seeking shelter, white refugees, say from the Ukraine, they literally, the government have been paying. They have a program where they pay UK residents, UK citizens, to house the white refugees. But the black and brown ones, they have a plan to ship them off to Rwanda. And I mean, you know, it doesn't take much to see to see the racism, as in all of this. If they have a plan to ship everybody off to Rwanda, a mixed culture of people, then it's like, okay, it's bad enough. It's bad that they don't want to take in refugees. But the fact that they're only shipping black and brown people to Rwanda and then paying people in the UK to keep the white ones is just it's unreal. But anyways, so it just turned out, I guess, that Rwanda is the one hosting the Commonwealth biannual conference, I guess. And so we've talked about this, and Prince Charles had the thing where he's like, privately he said it was was a horrendous thing or whatever it is he says, which I don't believe. Ever since that whole thing came out, nobody's talking about the racism that's attached to this. It's only this thing between Boris Johnson and Prince Charles to make it look like Prince Charles is so against this and all of that stuff. He may well have been. Do I believe there was any private saying? No, I just think that where Prince Charles is completely against it and said that in private and all of that stuff and blah. No, I don't believe that at all. I think they just gave him cover. They gave him cover because they knew it would be awkward. They knew that he could be asked really, challenging questions and embarrassing questions about UK policy. That is the cover. That's the cover that they gave him. Because again, he's going to be the next head of the Commonwealth. And so anyways, so that's a whole other issue we'll get to in a second. But one of the things that's come out of this is Caribbean News Network is reporting. It says the Commonwealth leaders settled in 2018 that Britain's Prince Charles should succeed his mother, Queen Elizabeth, as head of the organization. But as they gathered again here, some Caribbean member states were not at ease with the decision. Top right, the 54 Nation Club, made up of mostly British colonies, presents itself, and I love that word, presents itself as a partnership of equals, and says the British monarch is not automatically its figurehead. Yet, so far, the baton has passed from the Queen's father to herself to her son. Caribbean ministers here, speaking on the fringes of the Kigali summit, said that they had no problem with Charles as a person, but were uncomfortable with the symbolism of a royal succession. Which we've talked about this on this podcast quite a number of times about the ridiculousness of Prince Charles being the head of the Commonwealth. This is according to the Commonwealth's own website, and as you can see here, I just screenshotted from their website. It says, it talks about the head of the Commonwealth, which is right now it's Her Majesty, the Queen Elizabeth, is head of the Commonwealth. The role is an important symbolic one. It has no maximum fixed term. It is not hereditary. The future heads will be chosen by the Commonwealth leaders, right? That's supposed to be the thing where it's not hereditary. The leaders choose the Commonwealth. The leaders of the Commonwealth choose the head of the Commonwealth. Then my question is, if this is not hereditary, then you have to explain to me then why this is passed down from the Queen, the Queen's father to the Queen and now to Prince Charles. And this is the nonsense we've been talking about. There under no circumstance should any member of the royal family be head of the Commonwealth to begin with. We talked about this. It's, that's like saying, and I don't know any situation that this would ever happen. say, you join together a Jewish group of people, a coalition of Jewish nations, if that's possible, say Jews from Poland and Jews from Israel and Jews from the US, whatever, and they form something like, say, the Commonwealth. Under no circumstance would you expect them to have a descendant of Hitler be the head. Nobody would expect a Jewish person, group to do that. Nobody in that organization, say a Jewish coalition, would ever even consider having a descendant of Hitler be their head. Then I don't understand, because the majority of countries that are a part of the Commonwealth are former colonies. And we know from history that the atrocities committed by those colonizers was even worse than what Hitler did. So then why would people who were colonies allow the Queen to be head? And if that's not bad enough, then going forward, her son to be the head of the Commonwealth. It is ridiculous. And again, I can't understand why out of 54 nations, you couldn't find one other person in all those 54 nations to be head of the Commonwealth, and that's the nonsense. So now they're not at ease with that decision. Well, duh. I would think you would have figured that out back when you were, back in 2018. Like, I can't understand why they would allow it. And this is what happened when they were choosing the head of the Commonwealth back in 2018. And we know what happened back in 2018 around this time, but we'll get to that in a second. It says the Queen, this is a Guardian article from back in 2018 when that came up, the Queen needs a successor. She's getting up in age. She needs some, not she needs a successor. The Commonwealth need to choose a new leader because, again, the Queen is up in age. It says the Queen has expressed her desire for Prince Charles to succeed as leader of the Commonwealth, voicing her views the day before top government officials from the 53 nation body meet at Windsor Castle to discuss the issue. Her unusually candid declaration was made at what will almost certainly be her last attendance at the Commonwealth Head of Government meetings. As she welcomed presidents, prime ministers, foreign ministers to the 2-day biennial summit at a ceremony at Buckingham Palace. It is my sincere wish that the Commonwealth will continue to offer stability and continuity to further generations, and will decide one day the Prince of Wales should carry out on the important will decide one day that the Prince of Wales should carry on the important work started by my father in 1949. She said the position is not hereditary and not automatically held by a British monarch. And there has been speculations for years over whether Prince Charles would become its titular head. It seems unlikely Commonwealth leaders will defy such a direct express wish of their host, especially before the Queen's 92nd birthday on Saturday. And this is the thing that really bothered me, because she basically strong-armed them. You think like a 92-year-old strong-arming a bunch of leaders from 53 nations, but that's exactly what she did. And they all caved. They all caved and granted her wish. And it's just the most ridiculous thing in the world. And notice what she said, it is her wish, that it's my sincere wish that the Commonwealth will continue to offer the stability and continuity to further generations, and will decide one day that the Prince of Wales should carry on the important work by my father in 1949. So this is all about her. This is all about her and her family, that the Commonwealth carry on their work. Not the work of the people of the Caribbean, the people of Africa, who are parts of it, the other, The other nations in the South Pacific, and obviously, Australia, New Zealand, etc. It's not their work. Is that the Commonwealth? That her thing is to carry on the work of my father. Basically, her and her father. She wants Prince Charles to now come in and carry on their work. It's all about them. It's not about the Commonwealth, the other Commonwealth nation, the other Commonwealth people. It's to carry on their work. And and again, I can't believe it, but it's so irritating to see that a 53, well, at the time 53, now 54 nation body will allow this to happen. Again, these are the same people that says here that it is the head of the Commonwealth is not hereditary, and that the future heads will be chosen by the Commonwealth leaders. Then why? Or maybe just take away it's not, because that's now a lie. It's just this is just being passed down, because to the fact where Prince, the fact that Prince William is now saying, well, he's not sure he'd want to be the head of the Commonwealth. And that's how it's like, first they're like, oh yeah, it's not hereditary. It's not something that's just passed down. But the fact that Prince William would even have in his mind that he would most likely become the next head tells you something. That this is not about the leaders choosing. It's like, whoever is the head of the monarchy, that's who's going to be the head of the Commonwealth, which again is ridiculous. The Commonwealth leaders should just take that off and stop lying to people, or at least stop lying to themselves. And here we go, another Guardian article talking about Prince Charles to be the next head of the Commonwealth. The state leaders honor the Queen's wishes and agree Prince Charles should succeed monarch. Commonwealth leaders have formally announced that Prince Charles would become the next head of the organization after the Queen, as they returned from a retreat hosted by the Queen at Windsor Castle on Friday. Leaders issued a statement confirming the news, which had emerged earlier in the day. We recognize the role of the Queen in championing the Commonwealth and its people. The next head of the Commonwealth shall be His Royal Highness Prince Charles, Prince of Wales, they said. The role is not hereditary. But the Queen, who turns 92 on Saturday, used the Commonwealth heads of government gathering in London to say it is her sincerest wish to be succeeded by her son. Again, the role is not hereditary is a lie. It is an absolute lie. It is ridiculous. It is an insult to people that they would put that the role is not hereditary, a role that is just literally passed down from the Queen's brother to her son, and then for William to even have the notion that he, most likely would be head of the Commonwealth, for even to say, well, he's not sure that's something he wanted. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So they should stop lying about the role is not hereditary. It is just, oh my goodness. I mean, this whole Commonwealth thing needs to be scrapped. There needs to be something else, or kick out the royal family from being the head of the Commonwealth and really get serious. Because a lot of those, and that's my thing also too, with the Commonwealth or any of those things. It's kind of like when they get close to, for some reason, when they get close to royalty, it's like it stops being about the people of the Commonwealth. It stops being about that. And then it becomes about, well, we're close to royalty. And it just, I'm like, they need to just completely overhaul this for it to start meaning, and for whatever they are supposedly doing, for it to start trickling down to where the people of these different nations are getting benefit from it. So I just, And again, one of the things that stands out is like, if you look at the date when this happened, April 2018, this was like just about a month before Harry and Meghan got married. And one of the things that if you remember, and I should have pulled it in, Meghan's veil had all the the nations of the Commonwealth on it, and I believe this is kind of what they did, why they wanted that big wedding. Remember, Harry and Meghan didn't want that big wedding, they wanted a small wedding, but then they were they override the monarchy overrode their wishes, and they had this big ceremony, and Meghan had the veil with all the nations of the Commonwealth and all of that stuff. I believe the royal family and the monarch just used them. They dangled Meghan in front of it. They dangled Meghan in front of, and then the Queen also gave them, to president and vice president of the Commonwealth, Queen Commonwealth Trust, and all of that stuff was dangled in front of the leaders of the Commonwealth. Here's the, your lone black, woman of color. Yes, absolutely. We are changing. We will, whatever they dangled in front of those leaders definitely help them to vote for Charles, because I'm sure at the time, 1 month before Harry marrying a biracial woman, it maybe probably to those leaders, it's like, oh, well, oh, okay. But now that they're seeing what happened, and now they're seeing, that the royal families actually have no chance of, they have no intention of changing. They've seen what happened on the Caribbean tour, that those shameless offensive tours, they're seeing it, and now they're a little bit uneasy having Prince Charles. And I'm like, he should have never been there in the first place. I mean, again, not only that the royal family is racist, the fact that, I mean, they are corrupt as heck. Prince Charles, one of the most corrupt people. Why is this man leading anything? Any of this stuff is unreal to me, And so, again, they should be, a little bit more than uneasy. They should literally be a little bit more than uneasy. And I know a lot of it too is because a lot of them are considering, kicking the Queen to the curb. So that could be, part of the unease right now. But at this point, it should be like, no, we don't want you. It's time to go. This should have been, I mean, again, he was appointed next head in 2018. This is 2022. They should have been a lot further along the road than just uneasy, about Prince Charles being the head of. They should have already been protesting this and looking to vote at this conference. They should have been doing that. So again, maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just impatient with these things. But anyways, it's so funny. Even somebody posted this the other day, and it was just very interesting to me. So we're talking about, countries wanting to, they're going to be, looking to become republic, as did Barbados. And someone posted about this the other day, and I was like, oh my goodness, that is so true. And even when you're trying to get away from the monarchy, you're just like, they still have control. And Caribbean News Network reporting this from Jamaica. It says the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahu Fort, says all Jamaicans who are registered to vote will have a say in whether or not Jamaica transitions away from the constitutional monarchy to a republic. Again, that's a little bit like, what do you mean whether or not? I mean, it's like, no, isn't that a thing that you are going to, go get away from it? As far as the president, the prime minister have been saying, it seems like a sure thing that they're going. And now she's like whether or not, it's like, But anyway, so I saw this tweet from Lord Antimoro, and he said, or he or she said, if Jamaica removes the Queen as sovereign, her knight will just become the president of the republic, just like Barbados. And I was like, what? What do you mean? And sure enough, it's exactly what has happened. It says their Governor General, Patrick Allen, according to this, because I was like, because I had to figure out like who is the Governor General. And so when they said that, and I looked, obviously I had to look him up and all of that stuff. And it's so wild when you look up this stuff, you see all these honors and like that they have. It says upon becoming Governor General, Patrick Allen over there, I'll just read the honor spot so you see what I'm talking about. In 2006, Allen was appointed a commander of the Jamaican Order of Distinction. Upon becoming Governor General, which he is, Allen was made a member of the Jamaican Order of Nations. In 2019, Allen was appointed a Knight Grand Cross of the Order of the St. Michael and St. George by Queen Elizabeth II, who appointed backdated to 26th of March 2009. And again, he became, Knight of a Grace of Venerable Order of the Saints. All of these kind of like, I don't know, weird kind of club things that they're a part of. It's just kind of weird. But it's so interesting because what the tweet is saying, this man who is the Governor General is the person that's going to be the president, and just the same way as Barbados. And I was like, I didn't even realize that because so then I had to go look up Sandra Mason, who is now the president of Barbados, and it turns out it's the same thing. Sandra Mason was, the middle part where it says Governor General of Barbados. Sandra Mason was appointed the 8th Governor General of Barbados with a term beginning January 8, 2018. Simultaneously with her appointment, Sandra Mason was also appointed the Dame Grand Cross in the Order of St. Michael and St. George. That's the same thing that the Jamaican you see the same thing. The Patrick Allen, it says in 2009 he was appointed the Knight of the Grand Cross in the Order of St. Michael and St. George. It's something that the Queen appoint them to, and it's kind of weird that they, it seems like, I guess all the Governor Generals in these islands are a part of that same Order of St. Michael and St. George. But that's the thing. So she was the Governor General of Barbados. And so I was like, well, was she also appointed by the Queen? And sure enough, the Barbadian monarch, which is the Queen, on the advice of the Barbadian Prime Minister, appointed the Governor General to be her representative in Barbados. And it's just like, oh no, the resident government house Barbados, appointer monarch of the Barbados, Queen Betty. So the people who are becoming president of these countries, Sandra Mason and then Mr. Allen of Patrick Allen of Jamaica, both are appointed by the Queen. And I'm like, wait a minute. So even though they became a republic, the people who are the prime ministers are still appointed by Queen Betty? So they really haven't, they're not really free, are they? And it's just like, all of a sudden, my whole excitement for Barbados just went down because, I don't know, since, they're now a republic, if, what the relationship is there. But Sandra Mason is also a dame, I'm sorry, wrong thing. Here we go. She was also a dame. That means, that's one of those, OBE, MBE, CBE things from the Queen as well. And it's just like, oh, so even though you're a republic and the Queen is not the head of state, her tentacles are still there. And it's just, I just got instantly depressed. I was like, oh my goodness. So I guess the other, I have to check into the other nations that are looking to become a republic as well, that their governor, can they, put somebody else as a president other than the governor general? Or, can they replace the governor general that the Queen put there? I'm like, they're still controlling things. My point is they're still in control, even though it's a republic. This is somebody who the Queen appointed. So, they still have that relationship. They still have, and they're still part of the Commonwealth, which she's the head of. So even though they're a republic, the control of the monarchy is still there. And so I'm like, I don't know. It just made me depressed. I was just like, I thought they were free. I really thought they were free. And only to find out that no, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. So I don't know. Maybe y'all can tell me what you think. Maybe I'm just going off the deep ends for no reason. But Anyways, I'm just like, it made me depressed. So I had to laugh. I normally would never use this article, but this made me laugh today. So I thought, let me just jump to this. This made me laugh. Hope it did you as well. Spat at Sussex squad warned by Spat as a Sussex squad warned by Kate and William supporters, she will continue to rise. I was just like, get away from my depression about the Commonwealth. And so this made me burst out laughing today. I'm like, this is the barrel of the barrel. This is when you have no news about the Sussexes. Thank God the Sussexes have been quiet. And so they have nothing there, like scraping the barrels. So now we are supposedly there is a spat. Who knew? And that supposedly Kate and William supporters have warned the Sussex squad that Kate will continue to rise. And I'm like, rise from what? Like, rise from the dead? Like, rise from what exactly? Where is she right? Like, I just like, it's like you don't even want to apply any kind of, I don't know, anything to this. It's just see it and laugh and move on. So I hope it gave you a laugh. It gave me a laugh. It's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh Lord, now the Sussex squad has become their topic of news apparently. So I just thought it was hilarious. It's like, she will continue to rise. All right now, Miss Kensington Karen, you go rising wherever it is you're rising to. But anyways, that's it, guys. I just had to put something there where I could laugh. But thank you so much for watching this very abbreviated podcast. It's Saturday. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna go outside and sit in the sun for a while getting back to a lot of comments that I didn't get a chance to get to because my week has been crazy. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. As you can see the scrolly thing in the bottom, please hit the subscribe button. And subscribe to our channel if you love our content. Also, click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. You can also, if you'd like to support us, there are a lot of ways you can support us. I finally remembered my merch, my little merch picture here. This is another way you can support us. You can purchase merchandise on our site. The link would be in the show notes. So please go ahead and do that if you like. We also do have PayPal. We have Cash App. You can support us that way. In the live chats, you can support us that way as well. So obviously, none of this, you're not obligated at all in any sense of the word to support us. But if you like our content and you would like to, we would more than appreciate it. So thank you so much. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being amazingly you. I look forward to our next chat. It would be a live. Today was a little bit crazy, so I wasn't sure I could do a live. So I thought I'd just drop a podcast. We can chat about it. It'll be a premiere. It'll be a live chat. We'll just chat in the premiere, even though the broadcast isn't live. So, but anyways, hope you guys have a great weekend, and we shall come back the next time and talk more Harry and Meghan. And yeah, that's it. So I love you all, and I will see you next time. And we shall end this as usual with some music from my favorite Into Space, and that will take us out. So yeah, have a fantastic weekend. Bye.